buckle up and hang on. Let's see what's going to happen next around here.
We're going to shoot over and pick up old Waylon Wire over there. He does some cool stuff.
Hey, welcome to Rat Rodding. My name's Waylon Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome back to Waylon Wire's Old Iron. You know, I want to talk about that trip over the pass a little bit. You see, that was not bad road conditions, really. I've been over that pass when it was way worse than that, where the snow's just deep and just coming down a blinding blizzard. You couldn't see nothing. And so it was nothing like that. It really wasn't bad road conditions at all. It was just that we were so ill-equipped. There he was in that one-ton dually, two-wheel drive, kind of going up the mountain sideways, you know, just trying to get enough traction to keep going. And then there I was on the bald tires, pulling that trailer and spinning out every so often. And then coming down the backside was probably worse than going up the other side, and it was all my doing, you know. It's just that truck sat out there all winter, and that's the first time I drove it, and I just kind of forgot about the tires. They're kind of what we used to call baloney skins, you know. So I got to go this week and get some tires on that thing. So I had no business up there on those tires, and certainly had no business up there on that pass with those tires pulling the trailer. But it was the kind of thing where if you didn't die, oh, it was a really good time, you know. so it was, you know, it was just about that much distance between death and a whole lot of fun. And it was a whole lot of fun. And this whole week has been a whole lot of fun. There's been a lot of wrenching going on in this shop right here over the week. And I've got a little bit of footage. I didn't film a whole lot. Waylon Wire was filming a lot, and I've got some of his content. May throw a little bit in. I don't even know what's coming up in this video, but I know there's going to be one. So y'all stay tuned, and thank you so much for tuning in. What showed up today? We got hailing from Kansas City, Missouri, or St. Joe. We got Copper Wire, son of Waylon Wire, and from Zacatecas, Mexico, we got the famous Victor Carrillo.
The famous.
Carrillo, the famous one. Yeah, and Aaron bought this piece right here. This is a piece. And Tony bought that so they'd have something to drive back to Missouri. They flew into SeaTac, and I picked them up, and we went car shopping. Well, here we go, guys. Old Waylon Wire put the jack under here, and I thought I'd catch the day arm, but I jacked it up on the tie rod. And you know, I should be really apologetic about that, but for some reason I just don't feel that bad. Okay, Copper Wire has purchased himself a. Is this an IROC?
It's gonna be.
Oh, but it's a special brand. What'd you call it? A Bertinelli or some Barbara Bertinelli or a what?
Berlinetta.
Berlinetta. I thought it was a Bertinelli. Barbara Bertinelli.
Maybe we need to call this Valerie instead of Billy Ray.
Anyway, you know, Tony named it Billy Ray.
That's right, Billy Ray.
It's from the mullet era.
This car definitely wants its mullet back.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a little 2.8, and that's what my son's S10, 83 S10 came at the 2.8. It had a no. Did it have a throttle body? 83. Yeah.
Probably.
I think that's
right in there. Maybe a little too.
Anyway, what we did was when my son was 17, we yanked that little 2.8 out and put a 327 out of an Impala in it, and it scoots pretty good. But we got a little something going in here. What's going in it, Copper?
Well,
this is Copper Wire.
Well, my favorite engine for this car is what's going in it. We got a 5-liter TPI tune-port injection.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't afford an IROC Z, so I'm gonna make one.
It's gonna build one. Yeah. All right. Well, this thing, it looks rough, but where these guys come from, it's rare to not have the rockers all rusted out, and this thing's got solid rockers and solid floors, and that goes a long way because they can't find them like this in Missouri. So
they were either made in race cars or they rusted away.
yeah. So it's a pretty solid car. It don't look like much, but it's got good bones, and he's gonna throw an engine in there and drive it from Wenatchee, Washington to Kansas City, Missouri. What could possibly go wrong?
I can't see anything really, right? What could possibly that guy?
All right, we have here at Whalen Wire's Old Iron today, we have a Camaro on the lift, 85 Camaro. Came with a 2.8 liter little V6 in it. Had some ignition issues. Probably could have had it running in 10 minutes, but no, we don't do that. We don't do things that way here at Whalen Wire's Old Iron. No, we ripped that sucker out and threw it out in the woods somewhere. And this is what's going in. Now, Aaron, tell me exactly what this is.
That is a tuned port injected 5 liter 305 cubic inch V8 out of an IROC Z28.
All right, so that's what TPI means.
Yeah.
Tune port injection.
Tuned port injection.
See, I don't have any idea about this because I'm old school and I'm old and I don't know anything about this. And this ain't new, so that tells you how far behind the technology I am. You know, I'm a points and carburetor kind of guy, but no, that's an awesome engine, and they got a screaming deal on that. $700 for that and everything that goes with it to put it in here. And the guy was just anal about labeling everything. You should see all the labels, and the wires are all packaged up. But these boys have got this harness rolled out here, and I'm scared. I'm going to leave because this stuff scares me. So, but they don't seem to be intimidated at all. You got baling wire and copper wire, and they're getting into the pink and black wires, right?
That's right. That's right.
The wire boys are getting into the wires.
That's right. Wire boys are getting in the wires.
And they can have it. Yeah. I don't want any part of it. I don't even want to know what happened.
There's only 30 more connections left. That's not many.
Could be worse.
You scared me.
Could always be worse.
Yeah, this is not my thing.
So much spaghettification.
I can make plug wires out of barbed wire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know how to do any of this.
Almost got it all.
What a mess. But I'm if I was a betting man, I would bet when they get done that this sucker will fire up. I really believe that. So that's where we're at this morning. Tell you what, copper wire, my hat's off to you. I don't know how you did it. He's taken these two harnesses and made one. Look at this mess. Somehow he used part of this. I don't know how. But look at all these. He spliced all this stuff in. Holy smokes.
Whole lot of
No, thank you.
Whole lot of time.
Give me an old 235 Chevy with 6-cylinder with points and a carburetor.
You know, right about now, I want one of those.
Yeah, he's been at this all day long and half the night last night.
You want some light?
I want to see this gear vendor.
Right
I've never seen one.
See right there?
So that was a high dollar unit back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
So it's the whole tail shaft?
It's yeah, see that? See this right here? See that pan?
Yeah, I see
I'm
that.
guessing that's a valve body.
Okay, but it comes, when you buy this, you get the tail shaft too, and it all bolts on.
Right, it all bolts on. And look under here. It's got a tail shaft on it that bolts up right here where the tail shaft is at. See it?
Yeah.
So all that is all of that gear vendors.
Wow.
That overdrive.
And that was a high dollar unit back in the day.
And they're still high dollar now. I guess back in and you know what? I wish people in the comments that know more about this than I do. I'm guessing back then it probably would have been, you know, at least I'm guessing $3,000 to $5,000. Maybe even I don't know, maybe $3,000 would be my guess.
Put a light on that U-joint.
There.
We're gonna have to put some ugga-duggas on that bolt that for the yoke, because it's backed off.
It's backed off and it's all the way up against the U-joint.
Yeah.
It's backed off as far as it'll let it.
Good to catch that. That was a good catch, Aaron.
Yeah, it's a good catch. I'm glad he caught that.
Good eye, man.
Is that what you were slip on boots?
We'll get some fiddly here.
What do we got going on here?
Well, we have one yoke in position.
Wow, you got her drilled and
Got it drilled, got
Yeah.
it tapped.
the threads were stripped out of that thing. I don't know if I got it on film, but they were stripped out and that bolt was backed out against the U-joint. So the only thing holding the drive shaft in was the carrier bearing,
Yep.
actually. But it was doing a good job.
It's
But I
still
don't
in
know
there.
if I would have drove it 2,500 miles.
Nope.
So he drilled it and tapped it and put another bolt in, and you're about ready to put the drive shaft back
I'm ready
in.
to put the drive shaft back in. I'd like to torque that if you got a torque wrench.
I do.
Okay.
Do you know what it torques at? We need to look it up.
I'm gonna say click and that's enough.
Okay.
I don't know if we need to look it up, but we can.
Okay.
All right, it's D-Day. 20 hours and counting. What's going on, fellers?
Well, right now I'm just cleaning some of the stank out of here. So hopefully it won't be so stinky on the way home.
Getting ready to put the seats back in.
Getting ready to put the seats
This
back
thing's
in.
had an oil change, a radiator flush, hind end axle pulled out, and some replaced the
seal,
axle seal, and
fix the output shaft on the transmission, or
yeah,
actually, the gear, actually on the gear vendors.
yeah, I had to bolt that yoke onto the gear vendors,
Yeah.
and about ready.
Brakes. Did
Did front brakes on it. Yep. So it's about ready to rock and roll, I think. And this one over here, Aaron has made an executive incision. Excuse me, Copperwire has made an executive incision. That this is just not the time. There's just not enough time left to do this. Can't find a bell housing for it. And the one off the V6 don't work.
It's way small.
And we got a T5 that needs to go in there, but we're gonna fabricate something to hold that that bar in.
Oh yeah, we'll get that torque arm in there. We'll
Torque
support the
arm,
rear.
that's what you call it. Yeah, that's foreign to me, but I did work on one of them one time. Friend of mine, Chris Flom, had a rig like that up here. We did something with it. I don't remember what, but yeah. So this thing's going to go behind this one, and they're going to drag it to Missouri.
Couple thousand hours, couple $1,000 later, it'll be a real nice car.
Going to load this into the back of this dually, and take it down the road tomorrow. But it was fun while it lasted.
You know, a boy can dream. Dreams are meant to be crushed, right?
Yeah, it's been good. It's just never enough time, you know, just never enough time. Got a die out of a Harbor Freight wheel pipe roller.
Okay.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Oh,
You gonna kind of help guide
I'm gonna
it?
try.
You ready?
Yeah, be tapping. Oh, too much. Went in almost all the way on that side.
Okay.
No, you're going too. We gotta get this side to go in. Do that again. Do that again. Drive her home.
Okay, we're wheezy. That's what it looks like.
A little more, but it's going in straight.
Yeah.
Off a Harbor Freight pipe roller. A little more?
Just a tad.
More.
More.
I still think it goes. This will hit the outside edge.
That's what I'm hoping.
There you go. See what you think of that.
There we go.
You like it?
Oh, we like it.
I like it.
I like it too.
All right.
Look at there. We got. No more. We're almost there. You go. Let down.
Was that the sound of it thumping
Yeah.
into place?
I don't know. But get away.
Now you just shove. It just
There you
went.
go.
That's home. That was
Nice.
pretty quick.
Nice.
That worked out not so bad.
Look at you.
There we have it. Whale and wire hard at work.
Nebo. Welding hammer. Rubber handle on it.
That one.
Favorite handle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, knocks all the goodies off of there. Yeah.
Have you got the bolts for this?
Yes. They're in the transmission currently, but probably grab a couple 3/8 bolts and
Yeah.
put her in there. All right. One more. We got old Whale and Wire building this because transmission's not in the car and we need something to hold the torque arm so the rear end doesn't go shooting out from underneath it. All right. and then I
Something to
can-
go in there?
Yeah, I got two nuts, 2 bolts. That should hold it nice and sturdy. Here.
Just do one and get a.
Yeah. Go up just a skosh. There we go. All right. We'll get her tightened up and
This is not tight either.
yeah, we'll cinch up here and here and then we'll be good.
All right.
Yeah, there you have it. A
Half inch.
yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. Made by the one and only Whale and Wire. We got a mount for our torque arm. It's gonna keep this rear end right here from going anywhere. That is rock solid, super sturdy.
All right, we're preparing for the road. Gotta stab it.
Oh,
First time, man.
First shot.
We're gonna come hard.
Oh shit. Yeah. I think I like it.
Ain't got no brakes.
Oh.
Let me get some, man. Wait a minute, boys.
Hey, I promise you, if it gets really bad, I'll lay down. How's that?
We run over by a Camaro. That sounds like a good way to go.
All right, come on.
Oh God.
All right.
It said nope.
There we go.
Way too far.
You ready this time?
Is that better?
I don't know.
That felt better.
Straighten your wheel up.
And when you come visit Whalen Wire, you have to go for a hoopty ride.
That's right. Look at the view.
Beautiful view.
Not too bad. Been snowing up there on that mountain all day long.
Yeah, to me.
Everything I got needs work except for this thing.
You know? Well, the more stuff you remove off a car, the less shit there is to go wrong.
That's right. Looking around, we're out in the boneyard, my boneyard, looking around, and I happened to see this tailgate. And Tony got out to look at it, and sure enough, it's a GMC tailgate. And look what he's got on here. We need to swap them. It was karma. His planets are lined up.
That meant to be.
Yeah, yeah. All right, good deal. Just take a minute to swap that out.
There you go. Pull out. There you go.
Just stand it up there on the hoopy.
There, over here.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna hurt the
Clean
hoopty.
it up there. Just be careful of paint.
Right? I don't want to mess with the 7 shades of spray paint. Meticulous.
Nope. Me first. Okay. Yep. Okay. Try to open it.
Look at that! Hey! One hell of an upgrade.
Oh. Am I on?
Look at that. Oh, that's so much better.
Just beautiful.
That's so much better.
That's way better.
Oh man, now Aaron, you get to throw that on the hoopy and take it back out there and throw it on the scrap pile.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to get the full hoopy experience.
Oh, get to drive the hoop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment.
I know. I want to fulfill your dreams.
Oh.
Best car I got right there. And there they go. Well, there they almost went. The Missouri Wire Boys. He's got to buy a plug for those lights. Okay. I am pretty wore out. I only got about 2 hours sleep last night, and then I had to drive back from Seattle, about 3 hours. And then I've been down at the hospital and just got home and had a phone call and had to go back to the hospital, and now I just got back home again. So I'm going to try to explain that little clip at the beginning of the video, so bear with me. Monday night, about 9 o'clock, Victor knocked on my door and he said, "Can you help me with my little truck?" And he was looking down to the right, and I said, "Victor, look at me." He turned his head, but his eyes were still looking at the right, to the right. And I said, "Look at me," and he couldn't. And I said, "We're going to the emergency room." And I led him to the truck, my truck, and he kept veering, pulling to the right, and I had to keep pulling him back and got him in my truck. And then I remembered, well, he said something about his little pickup. So I went around behind my shop, and that's what I saw. I saw that truck nose down in over the bank, and
I'm glad he didn't go down in the canyon. I'm glad he didn't roll it. Somehow he got out of it and came to my door. Anyway, he thought he was going to drive into town, and I said, no, you're not going to drive anywhere. And Victor had a stroke Monday at work. He was working on a job here not too far from my place. And I just saw him briefly when he got off work, 5 o'clock or so. He said, oh, I was so tired today. I wish you could have helped me. And I said, you should have called me, Victor. I'd have been there. And he goes, yeah, I didn't have a signal. I think he did have a signal. I think he didn't have the presence of mind to call me because I got to the emergency room and they said it's really important to know when was the last time he was normal. Because there's a medication, I guess, that they can't give him if it's past a certain point. So I called the manager on the orchard, and he said that Victor told him about 1:30 that his legs got real weak. Or Victor told me that his legs got real weak about 1:30, and he's working on a real steep hillside. And this foreman said, you know, at 3 o'clock I looked up and everybody's on the ground, sitting there on the ground. He goes, well, they're taking a break. And he said, boy, about 20 minutes later I looked and they're still on the ground. And he said, I went up there to see if something was wrong, and Victor was laying down. Well, Victor don't lay down on the ground. But he'd been diagnosed as diabetic, so he thought he was having low blood sugar, and he went and got a piece of candy, and one of the guys on the crew gave him a Pepsi, and he's trying to get a little boost, you know. And but he finished out the day, because that's how I raised him. We just powered through it. Whatever it is, stroke, heart attack, whatever, we just powered through, you know. Stupid. But that's how we do it. One time I cut my wrist pretty bad in Wilcox, Arizona, and I wrapped it up with grafting tape. Finished the day and went to the emergency room, and they said, why didn't you come in when this happened? And I said, well, I had to work, you know, I had to finish the day. So that's just how we've always done it. But I'll try to get current. Victor has a blood clot in his heart. They're using blood thinners on an IV to try to dissolve that blood clot, and but the thinners can cause bleeding in the brain, so they're monitoring that very closely, and they're using an IV so they can stop it immediately if something goes wrong, whereas a pill would take time to get out of your system. That's how I understand it. He's been there since Monday night. I stayed with him all night Monday night and all day Tuesday until 3 o'clock when his son got here. Which brings me to this. You know, these flights are really expensive on short notice. And they were going to charge Victor, I don't know what it cost him to get here, but they're going to charge him $700 to fly from Wenatchee to Seattle. That's just a 30-minute hop over the mountain. And so I said, no, I'll take you over there. So that's where I went late. He had a late flight out last night back to L.A. And so, yeah, there's that. I thought what I would do is, because I know that, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I know that a lot of you feel like you know Victor, because we've kind of created a little family here with this YouTube channel, and you guys feel like you know me, and I feel like I know you, and we have a rapport, and a lot of you feel like you know Victor. When that guy came and got that coupe, he said, my wife made me promise I'd get a picture with you and a picture with Victor. So Victor's, he's got quite a fan base, and if any of you are in a financial position where you could maybe give up a hamburger and send old Victor $10, it would be so appreciated. Help his family out. This travel back and forth, Victor had to go, Junior, I should say, had to go make arrangements with his work so he could come back in a couple weeks and then drive Victor home. And they're gonna, when they get him off this IV, they're gonna do some real intense physical therapy, in-house physical therapy. They're gonna put him in a facility somewhere to do that. So Junior's gonna be back and forth. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to figure out how to start a GoFundMe account, and maybe if you guys want to donate, and if we can raise $100 or $50 or $200, whatever it is, it will be very much appreciated, and it will be very helpful. Now, Some of you tell me that you don't see the description under the video on the big screen. So what I'll do is put my email address right here. And that way you can that's my address for PayPal, my PayPal account. So if you wanted to send something with PayPal, a couple of dollars or $5 or whatever it might be, you can do that. And I will get that to Victor and his family. Another reason I'm doing this is because suddenly his grafting season got caught short, which means the old Waylon's going to come out of retirement and going to be in the row, in the orchard, boots on the ground, grafting. And I can do it. We got this. This muscle's ripped loose from at the top here, and I don't know how it's going to be with the chainsaw work, but I can pull a knife. I was grafting the other day, and it's fine. And if I need help with chainsaw work, Todd will help me with that. We got it. And 44 years, I've never called a client and said we're not going to make it. So we're going to make it. But to bring you up to date, Victor's condition, when I got him to the emergency room shortly after, he could not move his left arm. It was totally gone. And he could not look to the left. Well, that's very much improved. He can track with his eyes better now, way better. And he looks way better. And this arm he can lift, and I was down there pushing on it today. Every time I go down there, I work with him, and pushing on this arm, and he's got pretty good strength in him, but he has zero grip, no grip in his hand. But the therapist is hopeful that'll come back because there is oxygen flow in the brain because he has sensation in that arm and he can move it. So we're hoping that'll all get better once he can get this blood clot thing figured out. Now, they figured that he had a heart attack about 6 months ago. And they also figured that this is about his 4th stroke. And he never said a word to anybody. He never told me about the heart attack. He never told me about the stroke. I took him to the hospital 6 months ago in Mexico, and he never said a word to me or to his son. Nothing. So we didn't know to watch for signs or anything. But that's probably the current. He's okay. He's sharp and witty and making jokes, and we're breaking in the nurses to what we call field humor or grafting humor. She was starting to take his temperature, and Todd says, "Is that a rectal thermometer?" And she got all indignant at first. "Oh, I know, of course not, and then Victor said, "Well, it tastes kind of funny." And so she started coming around a little bit, and she got his blood pressure, and she said, "Not bad." He said, "Not bad for a Mexican, huh?" So he's got his sense of humor and his wit, and he's very sharp and alert. But there's something going on because he can talk fine, but when he reads, it doesn't come out right. And so they see signs and that we don't see the other things, I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, and his face is not droopy or anything. It's all good. So we're grateful for that, and we're hoping he'll get that left arm back. I think that's about all I can tell you. Like I said, if you want to use my email to do a PayPal thing, if anybody feels like they want to help out a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do this GoFundMe thing. I just got home, so I haven't studied up on it yet, but I think it's pretty easy. And I'll put that down, the link to that in the description below the video here. So, as you know, I sure do appreciate you. I just have to tell it like it is. That's what I've done for 18 years here on Whalen Wire's Old Iron. We just throw it out there, and that's just how it is. So I don't know if it's professional of me to do this or not, but Victor's he's my brother, man, more than a brother. So I thought I'd share that with you all, and yeah, we'll see you back here real soon. As soon as I know something else, we'll see you soon right back here on Whalen Wire's Old Iron. And as I said, I sure do appreciate you.